Alright, what's going on, hockey friends? We are back, and today's topic doesn't really need any introduction. It's Connor Bedard. It's the best prospect we've seen since Connor McDavid, and he's showing no signs of slowing down.
And Bedard holds the line. Bedard back with it. Slides in again. Bedard pulls right in. Overtime winner.
This kid is out of this world.
So this video will be a recap on what I said in my video on him last year, how he's improved, how he's adding new dimension to his game, and just a way for you to get even more hyped about him. So in that previous video on Connor Bedard, we talked mainly about his shot, how good it is, how powerful it is, and how back then, when he was just 16 years old, it was already NHL ready and actually, pretty much elite. And that hasn't changed since then. It's still elite, but we also touched on his playmaking in that video, and at the time I said it was an area where Bedard could improve. Well, I'm happy to report it has indeed improved. Now that shot isn't just a weapon in itself when he shoots the puck with ridiculous power and accuracy. It also scares defenders and opens up new lanes and passing opportunities, and we see a lot more of this disguised pass. The manipulation that Bedard is mastering is incredible. This here is a great example of many times where the idea of Connor Bedard and his shot just opens up opportunities for him. So he carries the puck in, no biggie, he just floats through the zone, and here he's up against a teammate of his from Regina, Stanislav Svozil, so he would know firsthand how good that shot is. And as Bedard does this curl move that is already his signature move, Svozil is going for the puck to get a stick on it, but this just opens up a new lane for Stankoven, and instead of shooting, Bedard curls and passes it and creates a high danger scoring chance for his teammate. We saw this multiple times at the World Juniors, and this is just another layer of what makes him so good, because that shot has so much respect and he doesn't even have to use it. He also does this curl move where he doesn't shoot or pass, he just goes on the inside and creates an opportunity for himself. And there are many examples from this season where Bedard has done the same thing. Either he manipulates the defender and passes it, or he just dangles through them. The point is that the fear of that shot is already so palpable, and he is the complete offensive package, and with that deceptiveness and IQ, he's unstoppable. Since coming back from the World Juniors, Bedard has been insane with his production, and this was something we saw happen last year as well, after he came back to Regina from the shortened World Juniors. It doesn't matter what level or what league Bedard plays in, he's going to absolutely dominate it no matter what. So to sum it up, the shot is just getting better and he's adding new dimension to his offensive game, and that spells trouble for any defending team. Now, an area where people aren't as unanimous is what Bedard's best position is. At the World Juniors, he played more on the wing, and I can see this becoming his main position in the NHL as well. Bedard himself has said that he sees himself more as a center, and generally, centers are more valued in hockey, and for some, the idea of Connor Bedard playing on the wing may be a turnoff. I don't know for who, certainly not for me, but there's probably going to be someone out there that complains, but it could also be a question of what team drafts him. Maybe for a team like Montreal, they would play him down the middle and have a 1-2 punch with Suzuki. Imagine a top 6 with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield on one line, and Bedard and Slavkovsky on one line. It sounds pretty nice, whereas a team like Anaheim could play him on the wing with either Segras or McTavish. But the point is that he is versatile in this area, and for some coaches, the fact that Bedard is on the smaller side, something I'll talk about in just a second, and that he's not a two-way monster, could maybe lead to some coaches and GMs seeing him more as a winger. Personally, I think I have him down as a winger, and I don't think that's going to affect the way people look at him. He's still a generational talent, and he will win numerous Rocket Richard trophies. And maybe playing on the wing would benefit him, because one issue I've seen people raise about Bedard, and it was something that a few people commented on in my last video on him, it's about his size. Now, I don't think it's an issue at all. Last year, Elite Prospects had him down as 5'9", 181, which, I mean, for a 16-year-old is pretty average, I'd say. Now they have him down as 5'10", 185, which, again, is pretty average. And the NHL is moving away from this big 6'4", 225 stereotype. And when you look at guys like Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, they're not huge with their frames. Of course, they are super strong and athletic, and I'm not comparing Crosby's physicality to Bedard, but I'm just making the point that Crosby's frame isn't huge to begin with, and Bedard has plenty of time to work on that, but I don't see him having issues at all with his physicality. And we see even smaller guys like Cole Caulfield and Alex DeBrincat thriving in the league, and Bedard is still 17, so he could probably grow another inch, but again, I do not think it's an issue. I mean, sure, the idea of Bedard being in a Leo Carlsson body or Adam Fantilli body may be preferable to some people and to scouts, but to me, it's not something that worries me at all. And I mean, it's one of the things that make Bedard Bedard. He's smaller, yes, but his play style and skill come from his size. So in the last video on Bedard and in this video, I've been banging on about him being a generational talent, and he is. He is the best prospect since Connor McDavid, and I just want to quickly make sure we know the difference between generational and franchise players. Generational is the best of the generation that no one will be able to surpass, and they come around every 8 to 10 years, so Crosby, McDavid, and now Bedard. Franchise players come along a bit more often, McKinnon, Makar, Matthews to name a few. You know, players you build your team around. Bedard is a generational talent, like I said, and he's proved it at every level. He dominated the junior leagues, he dominated the World Juniors, and it's gotten to the point where I think he's just, he is too good for this level. Sure, he's gonna have a few off games and poor performances, and that happens, but he is too good for this level. Hopefully, we'll be able to see him at the World Championships in May. Now, we should always take performances at the World Championships with a grain of salt. I think I said that in my video on Juraj Slafkovsky, but it would still be interesting to see him play against adults. And then when he scores 8 goals against Italy, it's not going to be as fun anymore, but still, I think more for Bedard than anyone, it would be good for him to play on a more senior level before jumping into the NHL this fall. Because Bedard is NHL ready, I don't think there's any doubt about that, and depending on what team drafts him, it's hard to say right now how his rookie season is going to pan out, and I will be sure to make a video about him when he gets drafted, but I'm super excited to see how he does. Myself and a lot of people out there have been following this guy for 3 or 4 years now, and it's always fun to see these players develop and turn into the players you were hoping they would become, and once he's in the NHL, it's gonna be a lot of fun to follow his journey. Well, there you go guys, that's another video on Connor Bedard done. I know there's a ton of videos on him out there, but I wanted to make a follow-up on my previous video on him, and hopefully I said something you haven't heard before. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.